Hello and welcome to the show. My guest today is definitely well known here in the Wenatchee Valley, but she's also quite literally known throughout the world for her basketball achievements. Her name is Hailey Van Lith. I caught up with Hailey when she was home for a couple of days after winning what is her fifth gold medal, playing for the USA 3-on-3 World Cup team. We talked about life and basketball and what she's learning from both. I'll share my interview with Hailey a little later in the show, but first, I thought it would be fun to take a little trip down memory lane, sharing clips and interviews with Hailey on this show throughout the years, going back as far as 2017. I've also got a couple of other surprises in store for you this episode, so let's take a look. Well, I think part of why people look up to you is you're not just a basketball player, you're a well-rounded student and participant in your community, so you're kind of the whole package.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I appreciate you being here, but let's show everyone your gold medals. I know you didn't want to wear them. Of course, we're not going to make you wear them, but let's show them. I mean, this is pretty cool.
This is my U17 World Cup gold medal that I won in Minsk, Belarus with my 12-man team, which there's 12 players on it, and we play 5-on-5. I was in Europe for almost a whole month to win this thing, so this one took a lot of work. And this is my Buenos Aires, Argentina Youth Olympic Game gold medal that I went to in October with my 3-on-3 basketball team. And this was a 2-week tournament that was a lot of fun. And it was just an amazing experience for me, not only to experience the other countries' cultures, but meet new people and get to play basketball at the same time.
Well, that's an amazing accomplishment. Congratulations. And, you know, what's also cool is you're getting to travel the world.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely opened my eyes to a lot of things and how other people view Americans and our choices, and just how really grateful I am to live in a country where girls can play basketball and girls have a lot of choices. And just even the attire that we would wear during our games was so much more different than other countries and what they were given. And you just are very grateful that we live in this country.
When there is success, there are always going to be the people who, have a negative attitude toward that. So you've learned to rise above that and not take it personally.
Yeah, I'm also still learning how to deal with it because I'm kind of new to it. But I would say right now I'm doing pretty good, just like focusing on my supporters and how much people support me around me and just realizing like how blessed I am with the people.
You come from an athletic family, so a lot of people watching probably know of your aunt, Corey Van Lith, who has records in swimming and, sports. And then your dad, he played college baseball and basketball, two-sport athlete. And his dad was very involved in his coaching and Corey Van Lith when he was younger. You have some pretty fantastic genetics.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I have some like great lessons that they can pass down to me because they've been through like everything I've been through. So I just have to learn to like trust them and put my trust in what they're telling me because they know exactly what I'm going through right now.
For them to understand how truly blessed they are that Corey comes home at the end of a long day and, puts his tennis shoes on and goes down to a field or to a gym with them. There's just not a lot of dads that do that. And for them, it's the normal, so they don't know otherwise. But for me, it's just, my role is just trying to keep them fed and hydrated and love on them. Yeah. They have the energy to go do it again. Yeah. But she's young. And so for her to know right now what she wants to go into is just, so for us as parents, we're just kind of trying to help her visit the schools that she's getting the opportunity to visit and help her through the process. But I don't know that, I don't think there's any guidelines. We've never been through this. Right, I mean, Corey and, they've played at a collegiate level, but no one in our family has been through, what Hailey is experiencing. So just trying to help guide her through kind of the chaos of it. And just like she said, the important thing is staying humble. You have to know that there's someone out there, getting better every day, just like you are. So, yeah.
I thought I would preface this part of the show by just explaining this was recorded in 2020. It's quite a leap from the interview I did with her in 2018 that we just showed. So I wanted to explain this was recorded when Hailey was home from college, like the rest of the country, when the entire world had shut down.
Sometimes you can only do so much training before you're like, I want to play, like I want to get back on the court and play defense and like steal the ball and score. But no, I have a lot of stuff to be grateful for right now. And I'm just going to keep working away and hopefully everyone stays healthy and we can get back to basketball soon.
So what's a typical day like for you? I know that you're still training. I know your mom always says that she takes care of your hydration and nutrition, and your dad makes sure you're working out. So what's a typical day like for you?
So I just started school back up this week. So I do my classes in the morning, try to just get them out of the way when I'm still like not tired yet. And so I do my classes for about 2 to 3 hours in the morning, and then I'll do my conditioning, and I'll go for either a long distance run or do some type of sprinting workout. And then I'll lift around 2, 3, somewhere around in there, and just try to really build my muscle now that I can't play and there's no reason that I can't be tired. And then later in the night, me and my dad will go to the gym and get a lot of training in down there and just take a time to be involved in basketball and kind of get away from the stress of what's going on right now, and just play sport. But I've also been focusing a lot on watching film, and now that I can't be outside as much, just studying the game and learning from people that are way better than me, professionals, and just trying to improve myself.
I always wonder what your dad's going to do every evening when you leave, and your mom too, but they're optimistic that perhaps they'll find a new normal as well. I appreciate you doing the show, and I look forward to watching you play. I've already planned to take at least one trip with your mom to see you play.
Awesome. I'll look forward to that.
Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Here's Hunter.
Hello. Sorry I hugged you the other day. I forgot about the quarantine.
Oh, thanks for doing this. It's well known that Corey Van Lith, Hailey's dad, has been her coach and trainer much of her life, especially in recent years as he helped prepare her to play basketball at the college level. What isn't talked about as much is his impact on youth sports, particularly boys baseball. He was his son's coach, Tanner, and my son, Hunter, as well as several others. I think it's important that we honor and recognize the adults who volunteer their time, passion, and knowledge to the youth of our community. So I caught up with some of the boys he's coached who are now grown men and asked them to send a message to their coach. And they did.
You got a curveball? Show it to me. I bet. Who showed you that? My grandpa. I bet. Stay here.
I'm Matt Springer, and I had the privilege to be coached by Corey in both baseball and basketball for over 7 years.
My name's Hunter, and Corey Van Lith was my baseball coach from ages 8 to 13, and he also happens to be my godfather.
Hi, my name's Cody Simmons, and I'm fortunate to have had Coach Van Lith both as a close friend and a baseball coach as I was growing up.
My name is Tanner Van Lith, and I had the opportunity to be coached by my father for the first almost 15 years of my athletic career.
I think anybody who's played a high school or college sport can look back in their time growing up in that sport and pick out 1 or 2 definitive coaches who had a profound impact on who they are today. For me, that's Corey Van Lith.
He's a very fierce competitor.
You won't find anyone more competitive and passionate.
But the things that stand out the most were how to be a great competitor.
Highly competitive guy on the field. That really sinks into his players. I know it's sunk into me. I'll give him partial blame for how competitive I am today and how verbal I am in sports and in competition.
An entertaining personality and just an incredible role model.
He not only taught me how to play the game of baseball the right way, but he taught me how to play the game with passion.
What discipline, consistency, and patience can really do.
And then also highly knowledgeable guy, knows a lot about every sport.
During one of our baseball seasons, we were jumping out of the way of too many pitches. And so the next practice, we were lined up against the fence for beaning practice. And he just threw pitches at us and we had to take them.
Off the field, more importantly, instilled a lot of toughness in me as a kid. As an 8-year-old, I was not a tough kid. I don't know how many 8-year-olds are, but me especially. And so he really shaped and molded the young man I turned into and then eventually the man I am in today.
I'm thankful to be able to incorporate that into my life now and to just be able to have those memories of playing for Coach Van Lith.
At the end of practice, he told us that there are going to be a lot of hard things in life that are coming our way, and no matter how badly we want to jump out of the way, sometimes the best way to move forward is just to stand there and take it. And I remember that today, and I couldn't be more thankful for the lessons that he taught me.
And then any time in my life now, whether it's personal relationships, whether I'm coaching, professional, a lot of times I've got Corey in my head, and I'm always trying to do what Corey does because he was such a role model for me then as a kid and now.
And most of all, you set the example for what I want to be for my kids growing up. I could never thank you enough for all the hours that you put into me and my teammates.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you so much, Dad. I love you.
Well, there you go, Coach. When we come back, my conversation from last week with Hailey Van Lith. Hi, Hailey. Thank you so much for being here. I know you're just in town for a couple of days, so it's good to see your face.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about this 5th gold medal of yours. I'm guessing that it never gets old. And what is it like winning from the first one to the 5th one?
Yeah, the first one was definitely like the most emotional. Like, I think I just sobbed like through the whole national anthem just because it's such an undescribable feeling.
Right.
But no, it's definitely a high that you chase over and over again because there's nothing like, having them place the gold medal around your neck and then you hearing the United States anthem being played. So yeah, it's just like people always ask me to describe it and I'm like speechless. Like you're just speechless the whole time.
I can't imagine, but my thought would be that if you could ever articulate the thought or get less excited about it, then you're not really living the dream that you wanted to live, right?
100%. Yeah.
I wonder too, when you're talking about living the dream, or I'm talking about living the dream, when you were a kid, and I've known you most of your life, and I watched you play just as so many people in this community has done. When you were growing up and thinking about what this dream looked like for you, and I know you focused more on basketball as you got older and left some other sports behind, but what was the dream? Were you thinking gold medals? Were you thinking, I know I've heard the stories about the WNBA you were thinking, but did these other accolades come to mind for you?
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say that I necessarily knew, like, I knew about the Olympics, but when I was young, like, I don't really think, like, basketball could win them. You kind of just watch, like, gymnastics, like, like the classics, right? And especially, like, being like a young girl, like, you don't always see women in that position, too. So I think that was something that I had to kind of grow up and realize, like, wow, like there's these opportunities, like I have opportunities to play for my country, like as a female athlete, and stuff. So those were things that like I had to grow to realize that I could actually maybe do this. Yeah.
And you have. Let's talk about the other accolade that you've recently achieved, graduating college with a degree in finance in 3 years' time.
Yes.
With everything else that you're doing. I want to talk about the education component of what you're doing right now. And I know that you're having a lot of opportunities with sponsors and different things that are happening in your life. And I know you have fiscal advice from your parents and other people who are now part of your team, agents and things like that. But what in your learning in college have you already been able to apply? What about your degree do you feel like you've used so far?
Yeah, I've learned a lot about like taxes.
Dang it.
Right? The least exciting thing on the world. But I have to know, like it's something that it's gonna help protect. I'm gonna be able to protect myself if I know more about that. And investments, like I think I'm at such a young age, I have such like I don't have expenses. Like I'm still in college, like my scholarship pays for my school, pays for my living, pays for my food. Like I still have no expenses, so I'm making this money through NIL, and like it wouldn't be smart of me to just sit on it, So I think like what I really did finance for was to understand investments and what smart investments for me being still a college student would look like. And like, we're starting to build my investment plan. Like, I haven't necessarily put a bunch of money into anything yet. But I'm starting to like know what I want to get out of it, what areas I'm interested in investing in. And so we're starting to build that plan piece by piece, and hopefully it benefits me in the future.
Well, it will. And most definitely. I'll be interested to talk to you 20 years from now and see how much it benefited you, right? It's getting started. I think about you in this community, and so the last 2 times during your March games, one of them I was on tour. I was in Brooklyn at the time, and I'm trying to figure out how to get filming done and get back and figure out how to get the game on my computer. And then this last year I was in Texas with my family. So we were all around the TV watching. And that's just me. You have an entire family and friends and people who've never met you and may never meet you, who support you from here, wherever you go in the world, whether it's to play in the Olympics or to play at your college, whatever you're doing. And I feel like we are so excited to have this, this successful, really good kid. I know you're a grown woman now, but you're to me, but we support you. And I wonder, what of our community do you take with you when you're out maneuvering the world? Because we're here watching you. What do you take with you from us?
Yeah, I think obviously, like, I couldn't be more blessed in the area I grew up in, and all the love that these people have shown me, and continue to show me, whether I'm at Louisville now, I'm going to be at LSU. Like, so many people have reached out to me like, oh, I'm changing my gear over to perform.
Yes.
Whatever I'm interested in, like, everyone's just always behind me. And that's not something that a lot of people have. So I definitely know like how blessed I am on that end, but also like, I just am so grateful for how they take care of my parents and my family. And like, I'm not home anymore. Like, my brother's not really home. So my parents are here, and the community just loves on them and supports them. And, it means so much to them that they support me as their child. And I think like that's another avenue that I've been like, wow, like they show my parents so much love and support my parents. And I think that that's really special too. So yeah, I mean, it's always so fun to come home and get to experience it in real life, and get to hug these people and shake these people's hands that are like, I've been watching you ever since you played at Kashmir. So, it's never something. I'm always amazed by all the new people I meet when I come back to Wenatchee that are just supporting me in whatever I do.
Well, it's funny because, your mom's one of my best friends, and we've been friends since your brother Tanner and Hunter met in kindergarten. And I thought, oh, okay, the season's over. I'll see more of Jessica. And then I'm like, we just had dinner last week, and we just squeezed it in because she's about to ready to leave with you again. And I thought, silly. I don't know when I'm going to see more of your mom, but I think you're right. I think that this community supports them, and them showing up for you is also them showing up for your parents.
Yes,
100%. Definitely. One of the things that has been well shared and well respected is your mentorship with Kobe Bryant. And I remember you saying that he taught you how to be unapologetically great. And I just want to ask you, what does greatness mean to you on the court specifically?
Yeah, I think, as I've matured and kind of grown up, I've realized that greatness it's something that you perceive for yourself. It's different for everybody. It's perception based. It's not fact based. And so I think, I've kind of moved away from all these like statistical, like tangible things that like, oh, if I do this, I'll be great. If I win this, I'll be great. And, I've tried to turn it inward and be more of like, if I enjoy life every day and I am completely in love with playing basketball, that's greatness to me. Like I'm walking in my greatness every day. And I think now that I've changed to that mindset and stopped like placing all these like goals and standards on myself, I've just been so much more full of joy. And like people are getting such a more authentic version of myself because I'm not weighing myself down with pressure every day. And that's been something that's just been like, it's been such a blessing to be able to have realized is like, you know, truly you never run out of goals to make. So like once I win this, there's always going to be something else I can win. So I'm never going to feel satisfied. Like satisfaction is only going to come from within myself. So, you know, ever since I was able to like self-reflect and be like, Hailey, like you feel so empty all the time. Like what's going to fill you up? It's truly like me validating myself and letting me know like what I'm able to give is always good enough. And I think like that's greatness to me, is like understanding that mindset.
Well, my other question was going to be, what is greatness to you off the court? But it seems to me you already understand that, right? It's a whole life picture. I've always said that greatness is the goal, even if not always achieved. So we're working toward greatness. The moment we think we've achieved it, right?
Yes.
Then we gotta bump it up again. Next level stuff.
Yes.
For sure. Well, I've appreciated this time. And what's funny is I don't think I've ever mentioned to you that I went to Texas A&M University, and I will get to see you play my team.
Yeah.
We were watching you in March. My late husband Wesley was visiting my family there in Texas, and we were crowded around the TV watching you play and following you along. And then so when you made the LSU announcement, everyone was saying, well, we'll get to go to her games. And I said, well, I don't know if she plays at A&M. They said, we'll go to LSU. We don't care. So I will definitely be at one or both of your games. And I don't even care if A&M loses, as long as you keep winning.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch you. Just keep up the good work.
I will. Thank you so much. Always appreciate your support and you know, your friendship with my mom. It's something special. So thank you.
Take care.
Of course.
Hailey Van Lith can do absolutely anything on a basketball court. The senior guard from Kashmere High School is one of the best players in the 2020 class, and her highlight videos are always a hit on social media.
I mean, everybody sees her skills, and you watch her in these Twitter clips and social media stuff, and you see how skilled she is, and you're like, wow, you know, that girl can she can play. What goes unnoticed a lot with her is just how smart she is, and a student of the game, how she understands things and sees and reads and understands defenses and how to attack them, and just a tremendous coach on the floor.
Learning how to be a leader has been one of the biggest learning curves for me, especially in high school. My freshman year, I was the starting point guard, and there was 4 other seniors starting with me, and I had to learn how to lead the team and gain that confidence to push them and like have them trust me as a young freshman. And that's just really been a hard journey for me, because I'm not always the loudest player on the court, but I have kind of blossomed into this like natural leader now.